What's up, guys? It's Eli Knight here. I appreciate you watching the video. I'm here with Dennis Cregier. We're up here in Salem, Massachusetts. So he was kind enough to have me come back for a seminar here at Ford Self-Defense Academy. They do Krav Maga and BJJ up here, and so we had a really good day, great turnout, and went over a bunch of stuff that we're not going to show right now. But I've got other videos on it. We did a lot of headquarters passing, a lot of half guard stuff, but we will kind of cover some of the half guard stuff because we were talking afterwards and exchanging some ideas, and he was showing me his favorite sweep to use from half guard, and I love it because it's very simple. And so will you talk us through it? Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, so basically I just call this the easiest half guard sweep, right? So we get into this half guard here, and I try to create a 2-on-1 over here. But what I like to try to do is make sure I keep my elbow into his armpit on this side. This way, if I'm too far across, he's just gonna smash that down, and then that's gonna become a problem. So I like to get up here, thumb in, elbow in this little area so I can create that frame. Once he starts putting pressure, I kind of come underneath and I bait him. I get a high underhook here and I try to bait him to come in for this whizzer here, right? Once he gets that whizzer, I kind of dive everything in. So I bring this hand in here, I wrap this one tight. I really want to make sure he can't like pull that out. Bring my head all the way in underneath, and then all I do is just open up my legs, but I make sure that I really squeeze everything tight here so it doesn't feel like I let go of my legs. I just walk underneath, bring this up and over, and from here I use a lot of pressure with the head, walk my way out, and get right into side control there, right? You gotta really make sure you get underneath him to get that sweep. That's what makes it so easy, because they're most likely they're putting all that pressure on you. Now, another little variation I do off that, right, is if he doesn't, say we're here, and I try to bait him for this, but he gets the hand in, right, but he yanks it out. So from here, I dive underneath his foot now instead, and I wrap tight around his butt. From here, I just switch, kick this out, pull this, I keep this little hook here, come underneath, switch, and then I just ride that one up into side control as well, just in case he rips that arm out and I can't go for that easy sweep.
Dude, that hook, or that low hook right there is so deceptively sticky. Like, I feel like I could pummel out of it, but with the hip clamp on the rest of it, like I just don't feel like there's any way. I like to do something like that too. When I learned that kind of sweep, the place that I learned it from half guard, but the place I use it more than anywhere is if somebody is kind of telegraphing a Darce choke a little bit too much. So like, let's say that like he's gonna go for a Darce choke on me, right? So when we get here, even whether he's half guard or whether he's already passed and he decides he's going to go for that Darce. So what he needs to do, he needs to collapse this down, get me all the way here. Yeah, there, that's going to be awful. And this has happened because this post has failed on me, right? So when I get here, I want to clamp that down, and I like to try to get a hold of the wrist, right? Because it's protruding through farther, and I can get the wrist here now. Now, the next step in it, like I'm gonna pull my elbow back to my hip and I'm gonna walk my hips underneath him. Because you notice the way he did it too is the same thing. It's like we're not pulling the guy across, we're pulling ourselves under the guy. And then so this hand is monitoring if I need to with the other hand, but he's gonna give me his hip because he's gonna come closer to me. And so I'm gonna post there. And then once we come up now, I can get my like reverse scarf or whatever kind of topside position. Even if it results in just a scramble, I still upgraded and I'm not getting Darce choked. So that's kind of cool, right? Now, like Dennis, I also have another contingency for it because like if I don't get that wrap or if he yanks that arm out, the thing is, it's like if he pulls that out and I don't have that connection anymore, he had to create a pocket of space, just like I did with him. So what that's gonna look like then, what I do from there. So if we're here and like he feels me kind of going for this, or I'm doing it similar to what Dennis was doing and I'm wrapping that arm and he pulls it out, then another option that I have here is to keep that space open and shoot in for deep half, right? So, and it's especially good because like if I can't reach that foot, right? Because if he could reach the foot, then whenever he did that sweep that way. But if I dive in here this way, and the foot's not quite accessible to me, I still have his hamstring. So I'm keeping both my thumbs here. I've got an underhook on his ribs and I've got an underhook on his thigh. I'm gonna bring my legs up and over to here this way. And I'm gonna set myself in this deep half position. Now from deep half, we've got kind of a scissor sweep, but we also have back takes and other kinds of sweeps too. So my two favorite things to do from here, if he's giving me the right energy, is I'm gonna lift this foot here, and I'm gonna kick his leg up and over, and pull myself out of the back, right? Once I kick him over, now that foot transfers to the back of his knee, and then I'm gonna chase and pull, kick him out to that crab ride, and then I've got back control, right? Hey guys, it's Eli, and I appreciate you watching this and all my other YouTube videos. And if you want to support me in other ways, check out my titles on BJJ Fanatics. Now let's get back to the video. So if we get here, and again, like I've lost the ability to get that control on this arm here, because he's pulled it out. So I shoot myself into deep half, and then once we get here to deep half, as he's going to set his weight back to stabilize so he doesn't keep going this direction, I slide my hamstring. So because my hamstring's on his calf right now, so I slide it from his calf up to his hamstring. So my hamstring is gonna be against his. This hand, in the meantime, is reaching for that heel. So I go here this way, and I pull his heel toward my ear. And now, if I just take that top foot here toward the floor this way, then it makes the sweep, right? The easiest way to come up after this and to create a passing opportunity, because I still have a hold of his belt on this side, is to get rid of that grip there and switch my knees. So this knee goes down, the other knee goes up, and then we wind up in this passing kind of position like that. So both of those are really good options from deep half, and that's kind of like what I like to do. So I think if you couple together the ideas that we're showing here, you know, like as I'm passing and I give him that underhook and he can create that sweep. If I rip the underhook free, he still has a sweep that direction. If you can't get a hold of that foot, then deep half is a good alternative. And from deep half, you got tons of options too. So I appreciate the exchange of ideas. I always go to pick people's brains who I respect. So if you're ever in the Salem area, guys, come by Forge Self-Defense Academy and see this guy, Dennis Cregier. They do great stuff here, great environment, great atmosphere. Everybody's always friendly, great place to train. Appreciate you guys watching the video.